My name is David Kim. A lot of people call me Yungin. I'm an engineer from Los Angeles, California. I'm Korean American, and this is my room, man. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I went to MI in 2010. I graduated top of my class. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna become rich. And then for a whole year, I couldn't find a job, right? I was applying here multiple times. I applied like Record Plan. I applied to like all the big studios. I couldn't even get into the little studios. And I was like really mad because like I thought it was gonna be easy. You know what I mean? But after a year of like applying here, I finally got an opportunity. I went on Facebook and then I looked up Chalice Recording Studios and I saw like the list of employees and I messaged like some of them. I was like, hey, like I really want an internship there. Like, how can I, like, can you give me a hand? And then one of them responded. His name is Josh. He's still here. And he was like, shout out Josh. I got an internship, worked for free for 6 months.
But talk about working free for 6 months, because that takes commitment.
Bro, it sucked. It was really humbling because up to that point, I was like the best at everything that I did. And now it's like, okay, you have to sweep the floors and you got to go pick up cigarette butts. And it's like, I couldn't even step into the studio. And I'm fresh off graduating top of the class. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to forget all the shit, you know? But that's when I had to learn to take a step back and like, I was like, okay, if I can sweep the floors as good as I can, be the best food delivery, you know what I mean? Like the fastest food deliverer, like people can notice me and that's how I can get into the studios. Like after the 6 months was over, I got offered a part-time. So I was working like 3 times a week, $9 an hour, like at the time. So I'm making jack shit, you know what I mean? Like 8-hour shift, $9 an hour, 3 times a week, minus taxes. I was getting paid crap, but that's when they started letting us in the studio. First, it started with like 2-3 days I was working here. So I had like a lot of time to get in. I still didn't know what I was really doing, but I would, hit up the homies to come record for free, like just to hang out. And I would invite people that knew more than me to come and just show me things. And like, I would try to jump in the room with like the other engineers and stuff here so I can see what they're doing. And then I did that for 4 years, basically.
Wow, 4 years.
Yeah, bro. Year 2, year 3, it was like every single day I was like, fuck this. That low point lasted a long time, man. Like for the first year, I was like, I have to do this.
Right. I'm
motivated. And then it's like, man, what the fuck? Like I've been doing this for 365 days and I'm still doing the same shit. Sure. Nobody's leaving. So there's no space to move up in the company or in the studio, the hierarchy. So I was just basically kind of felt hopeless. Honestly, I don't know. Like I don't know, but I don't like to quit. You know what I mean? I'm not big on quitting. I'm like so stubborn where I told everyone that I was going to do this and I was going to be successful. So I had to back up my word. Right. And I think that's what kind of kept me going. Every day I was like, I'd be walking to the office to quit. You know what I mean? Like to the manager. And now I'm like, fuck, then everyone's just going to laugh at me and be like, I told you so. My parents are going to be like, now can you do what we asked you to do? Like go back to school and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, fuck that. I'm not doing that. No way. Right. And then so I think that's what kind of kept me going. And then like year 4, I finally got an opportunity to engineer or assist. And then I got in there. I was ready. You know what I mean? 4 years of practice. I saw how they were running their sessions. You know what I mean? The hotkeys that they were doing. And every time they do something new that I didn't know, when I get an opportunity to, I'll be like, hey, like, well, what did you do there? Like, how did you do that? You know what I mean? Of course, when the artist isn't in the room and when they're taking a break or something, or after the session, I'll do things like that. And then like, I'll start stacking up my skills. And then same way I was doing as a runner. Like when my session ended, sometimes I'll end at 4 a.m. I'll get into the studio. I had to practice it. Like, damn, let me see like how he really did it. And then, you know, enough of that. Like I was just ready, you know. And then the first time I got a recording, I don't remember who it was, but they kept requesting me. And then the other engineers in the studio, they were like, why are you giving him these sessions? We can't do anything. They're requesting him.
That's real.
And then it started with one client, and then 2 clients, 3 clients, and then now everybody's requesting me. So I'm like a full-time engineer. They couldn't help but to give me that position.
Man for the job, I got cash I could charge. I'ma pass like far, bank account extra large. Control the airwaves like a war missile. Either on or off, can't play.
Yeah. The one time I did get starstruck was like when I recorded Nas.
Wow.
Because that's my favorite rapper like of all time. You know, like he's kind of the reason. Him, you know, Tiger JK. I can give them credit to like why I like rap. Like why I started to listen to hip hop and shit. But like when I was doing Nas, I was pretty nervous because I was recording him, and then like I noticed like my hand was shaking. I was like, shit, settle down, bro. Like, because I didn't want him to feel all creeped out. You know what I mean? Like, why are you shaking, bro? Oh, I'm your biggest fan. Like, get the fuck out. You know? So yeah, that was a cool moment.
If I sat down where when Dom Kennedy shouted you out.
Shout out to the engineer. Yeah, that shit was
how did that feel, man?
It felt good. Cause Dom is very, you know, he's stuck in his ways. Like he's an OG, so he does what he does, and like, who is anyone to tell him differently? But we like developed a relationship where I couldn't give him like critical, you know, like just constructive criticism. And in the beginning, we would clash a little bit, but then we started respecting each other enough to like kind of to listen to the advice, and then like, oh shit, it works. You know, and if it doesn't work, it's like, all right, next idea. You know what I mean? Like in the studio, I think that's like the most important thing. Speak up your mind, and don't be afraid to take a chance, cause if that fear just like sits in you, bro, like it becomes a bigger fear, and then eventually you can't ever step up. You can't ever make a suggestion because you're so scared in the beginning and you never did it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was a good moment when that was like a validating moment. It was like, shout out to the engineer. I was like, oh yeah, all right, that's real. That's respect. All right, so Pharrell has his own engineer, so I was an assistant, right? Sitting in the back, and this was kind of when I started to think about making beats. But I gave myself the excuse like, oh, I don't have the right gear. Oh, I don't have the software. I don't have sounds. And then Pharrell hops on Logic, stock sounds. He just plays, right? And I'm like, okay, like what's next? And then he's just like, he layers drums, and then I'm like, wait, that's it? Like there's no gimmick, there's no special, you know, plug-in, there's no special keyboard, or there's no special like. And then when I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna just start making beats again, you know.
It's a humbling experience too, like
super.
Yeah.
I always like, you always expect something. You create hypotheticals for yourself, right? To why you can't do something, and it never becomes like, it ends up never being true, almost 0%. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't rap. Like, I mean, I'm Asian, or I don't have the voice, like or whatever. Like I don't have the image, blah blah blah. Then you're already done. Yeah.
And one more artist that I want to emphasize was the experience with the Drunken Tiger, because
shit,
our generation, like Drunken Tiger is like the beginning of hip hop, right?
I was on my honeymoon, right? All right, so I worked with Juno Flow, who kind of knew me from because we're both from like LA, and so he hit me up. He heard like past work that I've done, so he hit me up, and then he liked what I did. He told Yumide, I did some stuff on Yumide, and then it finally trickled down to JK Hung. And then JK Hyung, he hit me. He was like, "Hey, like I'm working on my last album, like Drunken Tiger. Like I want you to be a part of it, bro." And I was like, "Man, like what can I do? I'm going to Korea. Like I'm gonna be on my honeymoon like next month. Is it cool if I stop by?" And he was like, "Hell yeah." I ended up taking all my gear, and my wife was cool with it.
Wow.
Cause I mean that's JK Hyung.
Right.
At the same time, I can't use that excuse, but that's almost like a god figure to us, right? Growing up, and the whole time we were working, he was like, "Oh my God, thank you for being here. Like it's an honor to have you here." And I was like,
Bro.
"What are you talking about, bro? Like without you, I wouldn't even have done this. You know what I mean? Like I used to rap all your shit. Like I was like 10 years old rapping your raps. You know what I mean? Like." To me, it was a surreal moment, and we kept like arguing with each other. No, thank you, thank you, bro. No, you don't know what you mean, like. And then finally, I just accepted. I was like, damn, like, that means a lot to me that he respects me enough to say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I just wanted to let him know how much I respected him. Hitboy's been in the game for a long ass time. You know, like he was a producer of the year in like 2012, 2013. He was like producer of the year. That's when he was like on the top of the world. Niggas in Paris, Click, you know, all the Beyonce stuff, and you know he survived because a lot of producers they're hot for a year or two and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
You think that what made him to stay, survive in the game?
Shit, man.
Resilience.
Resilience, and I think he's just that talented. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have one sound. You know what I mean?
He doesn't.
Like he did Rocky. He did the Goldie for Rocky, mm-hmm. and then he did like Niggas in Paris. Those are completely different songs. And then he did Flawless for Beyonce, and then he did like Sicko Mode. Those are all completely different vibes, you know what I mean? Like he's done for stuff for like Rihanna, which sound different. And so his ability to adapt to the sound and I think that's what like keeps him relevant. I was a fan of his music. Bottom line, like, and all the experience I got from working with every genre of music, it was a perfect fit. You know, I would do pop sessions, like I'll do country sessions, I'll do like rap sessions, I'll do heavy rock sessions. So I kind of know the workflow for each genre. I know what they're expecting. I know what they are looking for. So by the time I got with Hitboy, it was kind of like, all right, what do you got? You know what I mean? I'm ready. Like, let's go. Mm-hmm. And then no matter what he threw at me, I was like ready for it. And I think that's why he was like, yo, I gotta lock you in. You know?
Right.
And then he was just like, man, like how much do you need to come with me full time? Yeah. And then we agreed upon a number, and then I finally left Chalice, which was like super hard to do, bro. Like they give us health insurance. They like we get to use the $2,000 studios. Like, yeah, it was really tough, but I don't know, man. Something told me that I needed to grow. So I left with Hit, worked at his home studio for a while.
Then now I want to get to the second person now. So Hitboy brings up this guest, and then that happens to be a Nipsey Hussle. I know that was a short encounter with a guy, but I know he made a great impact in you.
I think I was in this room, right? I had a conversation with a friend, and the conversation was, you know, if you can work with anybody, who would it be? And I was like, it was really hard because I worked with a lot of people that I wanted to work with, and then came to the conclusion of Nipsey Hussle because he's one of my favorite rappers, and I didn't think I would be able to have the opportunity, but I just said it, right? I put it out into the universe. And then a couple months later, Hitboy, he started locking in with him. Like Nip started coming by a lot and recording like just demos and verses on here and there. And then one of the days he was recording Racks in the Middle, and I was recording him. After that session, it was kind of like he kind of got it sounding crazy, and when Nip came, we were like, hey, or Hit was like, hey, why don't you listen to the song and see if it like, you know, resonates with you. And right away he was like, yeah, let me get this one. He started writing to it and then started recording to it. You know, and over like 3 days we recorded it. And then at the end of the session, I was like, I don't normally do this, but like, can I get the first pass on the mix? You know, I know you normally ask so-and-so, but is it cool if I do the first pass? If you like it, then you use it. If you don't, I won't charge you. You don't have to use it. And he was like, hell yeah, for sure. You know, and
he's that kind of guy.
He's that kind of guy. Even after he said that, I was still kind of like sketched because I didn't know him that well. You know, like anyone could say yes, right? So he's like, yeah, tap in with my boy Steve, and me and Steve started talking, and we're like, hey, when do you want to get this done? They're like, we want to release it like next week or 2 weeks, and we're like, what? So let's get a studio. We booked Studio B in Chalice. That's where all the footage is from. And yeah, man, like almost the first pass, I mixed it for like maybe 4 or 5 hours. He came in and he was like, bro, this shit sound crazy. You know, the end of the night, you know, he had a couple notes here and there. Other people came in and listened to it. Game popped in, Wale popped in, Hitboy was there. They all had their little suggestions. So we got it to a point where everybody was happy with it. And then that night I sent it to him. He listened to it in the car and he was like, bro, this shit's banging. You know what I mean? Like, let's send it to mastering. Sent it to mastering. A couple of days later it came out. And like after that, I might have seen him once or twice here. Like, we would just chop it up, and we'd be in the studio and just have like, you know, just regular studio conversations. And yeah, shortly after, that's when he passed. And like, the thing about Nipsey is like, he'll come into the room and command respect and attention. He doesn't ask for it. He's so humble, right? Like, he'll go to the kitchen and grab everyone waters. There will be interns and shit in there. He'd be like, hey, here, you want water? La, la, la. He doesn't care. Like, everybody's a person, you know? And then that's something I learned from him, like the humility, where it's like, you don't have to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, you're from the hood. You're accomplished. You're recognized. You're respected. You don't have to act that humble. But to see him, like, to see that from him, it like kind of woke something up inside of me where I was like, I want to be humble like forever. Like, no matter what I got, no matter what I've done, like, I want to be that dude, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to relate to me so that I can make an impact in your life.
Is that the reason for your new tattoo?
And it says the marathon continues, and like that coincides.
What's the tattoo, bro?
That's upside down though. And that coincides with like my mentality on life. Like, my outlook on life is everything. There's a time for everything, and that time might not be now, you know? Like, I had to intern and run for 4 years, and a lot of people might have quit, but I knew that I had to keep doing it. I had to keep pushing, right? Because if I don't want to live life with what ifs. If I quit, then my whole life I would have been working 9 to 5s and been like, damn, what if I stay at Chalice? You know? And that's why I got the tattoo, because that's what he had on his neck. And then this was like their slogan, the all money in slogan. And it really speaks to me. And now every time I look at it, I'm reminded, just thank you. Like, thank you for taking the chance on me. Like, you didn't have to give me a shot. You know what I mean? Like, we barely knew each other, but you trusted me with your music, and that's not easy to do, you know? Like, he poured his blood, sweat, and tears into that. You can't just hand it off to like someone you randomly knows, but like, I think he felt the energy, you know, and what my intentions were and how badly I wanted to portray his message and through the mix. And I feel like we achieved that. Yeah. You know, life is about checkpoints, right? Like, you being reminded that you're doing a good job, you're doing the right thing. And that was definitely one of the moments where I was like, damn, I doubt myself a lot, but right now, like, I have no doubt that I made the right choice. You know? I think those moments are the ones that are so important to our life. Those are the moments that keep us going. Right? It was Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly album. Yeah. So at that time, I was still like an assistant / engineer. I was like on the brink, and they wanted to record like orchestra, jazz band, and stuff like that in Studio A. We were going through all the songs. Soundwave and Terrace Martin were there, directing what they wanted to, record for what song. And then every day it was just like, all right, we're going through these songs today. We're going through these songs today. Monday, Tuesday, strings. Wednesday, Thursday, whole band, horn section, all that. And then we're just layering, recording, layering. They didn't use all of it, of course, but they wanted to have all the material. And in the final couple days, it was like Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper, Terrace Martin, all of them, just going crazy. Like that was like the most musically satisfying session I've ever been a part of. You know what I mean? Because until then, it's like rap sessions. They're so predictable, or like pop sessions, very, very predictable. 8-bar hook, 8-bar intro, 16-bar verse, But that jazz section...
So unorthodox, right?
It was crazy. And you never knew when they were going to stop, bro. Like, one take, they went like 50 minutes. 50, whole hour they're just playing. And we're just like, God damn, this is like... Yeah, this is one of those moments in life where... you know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn.
So, it was a similar feeling to like... I'm a LeBron fan. So when they came back 3-1 in the finals, that feeling of Game 7, it was kind of like that feeling. Like, is this real? Like, we're experiencing greatness. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so from that, shout out to Terrace Martin, because when they were doing the credits, he went out of his way to look for me. Like, I wasn't in the room. He was like, yo, where's David at? Hey, how do you want your name to come out on the thing? And then I told whoever was writing down the notes. And then, because I could easily not have gotten it, Like, they could have just kept it in-house, terrorists, blah, 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 not even put in string recorders. But he went out of his way to make that a category. And then when that happened and it got nominated, I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't think I don't think I deserve it yet. I don't think I'm at this level where, because I wasn't even engineering full time. But I was like, wow, this is the best feeling ever, And when I finally did get it, it was like, I went straight to my dad. Like, yo, here, this is to justify all the times we fought, all the times you were disappointed in me and thought I was a failure. You know what I mean? Like, here you go. Man. And like, he cried, like, and that helped me understand. This is another message I want to project to the youth.
Go ahead.
There are more ways to make your parents proud than one, right? And the ways that they can't imagine receiving the proud moment, those are the ones that are going to be more impactful than if you fulfilled their expectation of you. You know what I mean? If I became a pastor or like a teacher or a doctor or whatever, they'll feel proud, but that shit will fade. That'll be gone quick, because it's like, oh wait, I expected him to be here. Yeah. But he could have never expected in his wildest dreams to receive a Grammy certification from his son, bro. And like, that was like one of the happiest moments, not because I won, but because he won. You know what I mean? There's no way I can like predict where I'm gonna be. There are things that I want to achieve. Like I want my own like sound engineering academy. I want my own nonprofit. So like a boys and girls club almost for music, and like if I can integrate coding and things like that, that would be great. So something like Nipsey did with Vector 90. Yeah. Similar to that. I want to do that for like my community, for Koreatown, and for all the kids that are forced to go to school and be doctors and lawyers when they really wanted to be music. You know what I mean? Like us, we had to take the hard route. Now I want the next generation to have options. That's important to me because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have that lane. That's I think that's a dream that I had when I was like starting off. But it didn't really exist in my world. So now that I'm in a position that I can give it back and I can impact someone's life and make a difference, like I really want to do that. Like, cause to me, 4 hours is a lot of time to me now. And I don't want to put like a value on it, but I think that's like enough time for someone to get their foot wet and to get inspired. You know what I mean? Like a tour isn't enough. Like a 1 or 2 hours is kind of a tease, but like a real 4-hour session, I feel like that can really change someone's life, hopefully. And like I plan on doing it like every month or every 2 months. Like so random.
It's not just the person that's just keeping going.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for my tutorials and life talks and things like that. I'm gonna be doing seminars and workshops and clinics and stuff. So look out for that, and I hope that it can make an impact and help, anybody, really. Yeah. I want people to like persevere. I want people to be like resilient. I don't want can't to be in anyone's vocabulary. I want people to have options, man. Like whether it's music, art, science, like engineering, whatever it is, I want them to explore and try things that they might like, and then maybe they'll stumble upon something they really love, And I want them to know that there are people that have gone through the things that they're going through now, so they don't have to feel like they're alone. You know what I mean? A lot of like the younger generation, they're really sad and depressed because no one can relate to them, and they feel like no one else is going through the same pain that they're going through. That's why that genre of music is so popular, because it makes them feel like someone's listening and someone cares. So I want the kids to know that, like, I've gone through the things that you're going through, that the older generation, we've all felt the things that you felt. So like kind of just like, let's work together,